Hi, I'm Scott Rubin, your New York City real estate broker, and this is the timeline for purchasing. As an experienced New York City real estate broker, I've worked with many first-time buyers over the years. This is a basic outline of the process from beginning to end. The first thing I recommend is meeting with a real estate broker like myself for a consultation. Most brokers skip this step, which is a huge mistake. I think it's such an important part of the process. I'll discuss a more personalized version of this timeline, the current market, your financials, the approval process, all of the costs involved, and tailor a specific game plan to achieve your goals. I'll help you set things in motion and guide you through the process. Plus, you don't pay your broker, so this step is a no-brainer in my opinion. It always saddens me every time I see a broker meeting his client for the very first time at one of my listings. The next step is speaking with a mortgage consultant, assuming you're financing, that is. This is a very important step in the process because you'll need to know how much a bank is willing to lend you, the different products and rates available to you, what to expect in regards to closing costs, and so much more. You'll also need a mortgage pre-approval letter once you're ready to submit an offer on a specific apartment. Getting pre-approved is a free service provided by a mortgage consultant, and you will not need to commit to working with whoever pre-approves you. I highly recommend doing this prior to seeing any apartments. It's also a good idea to contact a few real estate attorneys as soon as you're ready to start seeing apartments. You also don't need to commit to one right off the bat, but you will need a good attorney by the time you're ready to present an offer to purchase. Way too many people wait until the last minute to hire an attorney, and I think it's much better to do so before you find an apartment, so you aren't scrambling around at the last minute. I have great referrals for both real estate attorneys and mortgage consultants. Next up is the search for an apartment. This can take days, weeks, or months. I personally like to help my clients streamline the process, narrow down their choices, point things out about listings they may not know, and set appointments for them that fit their schedule. I personally like to attend showings with my clients and get feedback from them while inside the apartment, so we can bounce things off of each other and put things into perspective. By asking questions and pointing things out from my own experience as a broker, I can usually add a tremendous amount of value to their decision-making process. If we're looking at co-ops, I also make sure that we're only seeing buildings that will likely approve them, based on their specific situation and financial picture. Once we find an apartment, we move on to the negotiation. Hopefully you're working with a great real estate agent like myself who's an expert negotiator. I'll run a comparable market analysis and use that in conjunction with my knowledge of the market and experience as a broker to help devise a negotiating strategy. I'll help put together an offer and submit it to the listing agent, along with your mortgage pre-approval letter, a financial statement, proof of funds if you're paying cash, and anything else that may be required, such as a personal bio. I'll negotiate with the other side until we come to an agreement and we have an accepted offer. Once there's an accepted offer, the brokers will create a deal sheet which gets sent to both attorneys. The seller's attorney will send a contract of sale to your attorney so that they can do their due diligence. They'll negotiate the terms of the contract on your behalf, review the building financials, read meeting minutes from the board, and make sure that the building is a good investment for you prior to you signing. When you sign the contract, you will be required to put down a 10% contract deposit. When the seller's attorney receives this signed contract and deposit, they'll have the seller countersign. Once that fully executed contract is returned to your attorney, we now have a deal. Now that the contract is signed, you'll apply for a mortgage, assuming you're financing. If it is a condo or a co-op, your broker will help you put together a board package. Condos have board applications, but they're usually easier than co-op applications. Co-op applications require that you submit your entire financial picture, including a financial statement, account statements, tax returns, and more. Both will usually ask for business and personal reference letters as well. This is a very important part of the process, and it's important to have a good broker assisting you in putting together a solid board package, especially if it's a co-op. Once the package has been submitted, we wait for approval, which can take a few days or a few weeks. A condo will approve your application and issue a right of first refusal waiver. A co-op will hopefully approve your application and schedule a board interview with you. How the board interview is conducted varies from co-op to co-op, and I recommend taking it very seriously like it's a job interview. You'll typically get a sense of how well it went by the time you leave, and usually you'll hear an answer back shortly. Once you have board approval, the attorneys will schedule a closing on behalf of the buyer and the seller. Prior to the closing, there'll be a walkthrough where you walk through the apartment or house to make sure that everything is being delivered in working order and in the condition agreed upon in the contract. That brings us to the final step, which is the closing. You'll be sitting down with your attorney and signing a good number of documents and handing over checks. You will then get the keys, and that's it. Congratulations! You are now the proud owner of a New York City co-op, condo, or townhouse. If you're looking to purchase in New York City and would like a free personalized consultation, feel free to reach out. That's it for now. I'm Scott Rubin, your New York City real estate broker. See you again next time.